Okay, well, there's a lot to get through in today's episode, and it's going to be a podcast-style episode today because there's just too much. I can't make edited videos about all of these topics. Justin Trudeau and Sophie Grégoire Trudeau are separating. Harry and Meghan are obviously involved in that because you'll all remember I did a two-part video on Sophie Grégoire's appearance on Meghan Markle's archetypes, and we all had a great time watching that. We're going to revisit that today, and you're all going to reminisce about one of my greatest hits. It's going to be fun. We're going to have fun together. Then we're going to talk about Prince Harry and Meghan Markle. They're cold calling people now about cyberbullying. It's a very, very strange campaign that they're involved in. Another one of these so-called charities that they are, I don't know, donating, laundering money through. I think we all know what's going on there. They give like 500 grand, then they get paid, 600 grand to do some speeches, and then they launder it, and then, that's all they're doing with their laundering money. Allegedly, I'm joking. I don't know. You can't sue me because this is all satire. It's comedy. It's parody. So, no, that's not what's happening. And then there's the big scandal with Lizzo. I predicted this. I warned you all that Lizzo was a terrible human being because everyone thinks it's just, casual racism. It's just, she's saying stuff about body shaming and not liking certain races, and I said, well, no, it goes deeper than this. We should really be calling her out. She's a terrible human being, and I was right all along. She's getting her ass sued, right? They're suing her ass. They suing she is. Don't do the voices, Danny. We're going to take a look at that whole fiasco as well. The first thing we're going to take a look at, though, is the happy story that Justin Trudeau and Sophie Grégoire Trudeau, their matrimony of Machiavellian narcissism is coming to an end. Thank God. The marriage, well, you say thank God. I guess the terrible thing is they're going to inflict misery on the next person they find. And though I tend to think that people like Justin Trudeau and Sophie Grégoire are basically asexual, right? They're so wrapped up in themselves that they can't really truly bring themselves to be attracted to another human being, only as an accessory to themselves. That's all it could be. There's no love there. These are two very invulnerable narcissists, and you're going to say, well, where's your qualifications, Dr. Todd Grandy? Well, I'll tell you what. Where's my silver plaque? That doesn't mean I'm not a great YouTuber, does it? So I don't have my diploma for psychiatry or whatever. But I would say that all the hours of YouTube videos watching Jordan Peterson talking about the troll demons, I think that's a qualification enough. All right. Justin Trudeau's wife, Sophie Grégoire, was on Meghan Markle's failed Archetypes podcast. It was not a failure. It was beautiful. In fact, we're going to revisit it, and we're going to reminisce. We're going to have a great time. You're going to see what we're missing out. Why did they cancel it? Spotify. They're stupid. They didn't know how to market it. If they had a good marketing team, they could make that 30 million back like that. Give me a podcast. Give me 30 million, Spotify. I'll market it for you. I can market Archetypes. I did a bloody good job of it, actually. Smug twat. Let's have a look. They're failed Archetypes, failed marriage, Failed human beings, failed everything. Let's remind ourselves of how awful a human being this woman is, and why, really, if there's anyone worse than Justin Trudeau, and I don't mean his politics, though his politics as well, he's just an awful human being. He's Pinocchio, right? If there's anyone worse, it's his wife. It's his Instagram-loving bitch wife. All right, let's have a look at Sophie Grégoire in all her glory.
Fellow human beings and friends here today, sing.
Fellow human beings, hello. I can't get over that. Let's listen to that again. I'd forgotten that. This is Sophie. Have a look.
Because I have heard my fellow human beings and friends here today
My fellow human beings and friends here today. They're not your friends.
sing. This is not planned, trust me.
This is not planned. Trust me. No one trusts you, you lizard. You shape-shifting lizard. You Machiavellian. Why, of course we trust you. You're a fellow human being.
I'm going to step up. Yes, and I'm going to sing you a song that I wrote for my daughter, Ella Grace.
My anus just clenched. And I know I don't like talking about stuff like that, but it's reality. At least I'm not saying I was sick in my mouth, you know. That's something people say all the time, innit? But no, my anus contracted listening to her. It really did. Doesn't that happen to the rest of you? Everyone talks about toe curling cringe. They never talk about anus clenching cringe, right? That's what happens to me. My anus goes, I'll stop talking about it. But it's what it is. It is what it is.
I'm going to sing you a song that I wrote for my daughter, Ella Grace. And it goes like this. Some people doubt that angels can fly.
You know, I'd forgotten about that as well. What is that at the end of every line? And then there's another clip, and I don't know which video it's in. It's probably in the next video, where she sings with Justin, and I can't remember the name of the song, but after every line that she sings, Justin goes, boom, ba-dum, twat! I hate people so much more for their personality than their politics now. Now, I really used to get into the politics thing and just ignore their personality. I've stopped caring about politics for about 3 or 4 years now. And it's just, if somebody is a slime ball, you need to call them out, even if they're on your side, you know. Like I did when I talked about George Santos. Do you remember that video I did? And a lot of you are watching, Republicans, and you all came after me in the comments. What about Joe Biden? It's like, yeah, I know, Joe Biden as well. I've done videos about him. It's all about the cringe with me. As far as I'm concerned, the world can go to hell in a handbasket, because I don't care anymore. I don't care. Everyone's trying to destroy the world, aren't they? Who said that? Tears for Fears. Everybody wants to rule the world. Everybody wants. Some just want to watch it burn, though, don't they? Those Machiavellian types. Anyway, that's who Justin Trudeau's ex is, Sophie Grégoire. Now, let's see what it says here. And this is the problem with these tabloids and stuff. They just don't have my talent, right? For my way of words. My way of words. Look at this. They don't pick up on it. Sophie Grégoire spoke about how all women long to be free in who we are. That was awful, yeah. But the actual sentence was way longer. since they carry most of the load in the household with children. Great, yeah. Your husband's the Prime Minister. He's busy ruining everyone in Canada's life, lady. All right? So, keep your trap shut. Meghan Markle describes Sophie as a dear friend who is emblematic of strength. No, that isn't what happened. This is what happened. Let's get to it. Well, why didn't you say so? Of course, Sophie Grégoire Trudeau. Yeah, that should have. Of course, it's Justin Trudeau's wife.
Sophie has become a dear friend and someone who I think is so emblematic of strength that comes from embracing your humanity, even in the face of all these family and home and public pressures.
I'm sorry, what? She's become a dear friend and someone who is...
Someone who I think is so emblematic of strength that comes from embracing your humanity, even in the face of all these family and home and public pressures.
Yeah, that's what she said. Not quite the same. Someone who is so emblematic of strength, even in the face of what was... I can't even remember. I did a whole bit on it on the video. You can go and watch the video. It was really good. Do you remember when I made good videos? Yeah, that was a good time, wasn't it? Anyway, they've separated. And I'm not sure exactly why. Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau's wife, Sophie, spoke about the desire to break away from the traditional feminine domestic roles. Her husband. Feminine tradition. Her husband. You want to break away from him, don't you? Because you are an ice queen. Like he is as well. You're all asexual. Flowers. You're flowers. You don't really love anyone. You don't find yourselves attracted to anyone because you're narcissists. Alright, you don't. They don't love anyone. They can't. They're incapable of it. She wanted to break away from the traditional feminine domestic roles while on Meghan Markle's podcast last year. She spoke about that, amongst other things. It was a wonderful podcast. Sophie Grégoire Trudeau, 48, was referenced as Soph on Markle's failed Archetypes podcast. Good wife, bad wife, good mom, bad mom in November 2022. That is, again, not quite accurate enough for me. She wasn't just called Soph. Let's see how she was introduced to us on Archetypes. It will blow your mind to be reminded of this.
You wondering who I'm talking about?
No, her name's in the title, so I mean it's Sophie Grégoire Trudeau. It's in the title.
I'll let her introduce herself.
For homies, it's Sophie G in the house, but nobody knows this.
Oh! Ah! For homies, it's Sophie G in the house. You're not black or poor. I just did a Joe Biden, didn't I? Poor kids are just as good as white kids. No. That is incredible. In fact, I think I said something like that, didn't I? How can this extremely privileged white woman... That is cultural appropriation. Surely it is. I said something along these lines, didn't I? What a totally relatable fellow human being. Did an extremely wealthy white woman just say, for homies, it's Sophie G in the house? I'm going to vomit. Great. That was some good editing there, wasn't it? Yes. Well, that is how she was referenced in the podcast. Referenced as Sophie G in the house for homies. More like for homos! I think I may have gone too far there. Grégoire Trudeau spoke about how all women long to be free. Yeah, well, yeah, this is good. So, Meghan Markle describes Sophie as a dear friend who is emblematic of strength that comes from embracing humanity, even in the face of all of these family and public pressures. Daily Mail, have you been watching my videos? I'm sure you have. Who hasn't, frankly? If you're following the Meghan Markle debacle, there's no way I'm not on your radar. I should be. Sophie had a full plate whilst being a parent and a spouse in the public eye after being married to Justin for 18 years, Markle claimed in the podcast. Yeah, they announced their split. That's it. It's over, folks. It's all over. The Canadian First Lady, look, I swear to God I said First Lady in the podcast and a lot of Canadians jumped down my throat. Well, I'm afraid if the Daily Mail says you have a First Lady, then you have a First Lady. I'm sorry. I'm really sorry, Canadians. I'm sorry, Canada. But our king is your king. And if we say your First Lady is your First Lady, take it up with the House of Commons. You have a First Lady, or you had a First Lady. I wonder who it's going to be now. Who takes her role after she goes off to pastures new to start a podcast or something. Inevitably, Spotify will give her $20 million. And while I'm still here, producing everything myself, editing everything so beautifully, you know, and she'll just ride off into the sunset like a hoe. All right. Anyway, I think it's probably time to move on to our next segment, and this is a very interesting one. Prince Harry and Meghan in united front against cyberbullying. They are cold calling people. Take a look at this video.
Hello, this is Tazine.
Hi, Jazine.
Hi, Jazine.
Hi.
Listen to Harry's voice. What a bitch.
Hello, this is Tazine.
Hi, Jazine.
Hi, Jazine.
So Meghan Markle has got this narcissistic, really well-worked, learned script reading voice, right? It's great, you know, it is what it is. It grates on me. But listen to Harry.
Hello, this is Tazine.
Hi, Jazine.
Hi, Jazine.
Hi, Jazine. No. You idiot. Do you think sometimes I get a little bit too wound up? Or not wound up enough? It makes me sick to hear a man who was in the military talking like that. I'm going to have to listen to that again.
Hello, this is Tazine.
Hi, Jazine.
Hi, Justine.
Hi, Jazine.
Hi, Justine. Idiot! See, this is why I should edit my videos. Because I do all of this and then I edit it out, you see? But this is, I guess this is a little behind the scenes. This is very exciting for all of you. You know, this is a privilege to all of you, for all of you. Also, you get to see my wonderful use of English in full flow.
Hi. Oh my god.
Oh yeah, that's not staged.
Hi, Jazine.
Hi.
Hi. Oh my.
Hi. Did I do it right? No, you didn't, Jazine.
Hi, Jazine.
Hi, Jazine.
Hi. Oh my god.
How do you know it's them? They haven't said who it is. Actually, to be fair, if I don't know, if they told them there's a possibility that Harry and Meghan will call you and you hear, "Hi, Justine." Hi. Immediately after, "Hi, Justine." Right, you know it's them, don't you? Nobody talks like that. Not really.
I can't believe that I'm speaking with you both right now.
It's because you're not. It's because it's staged. There's no way they got the cameras in the two places at the same time. It's staged. I hate this stuff. I hate when they try to make stuff look real. It really bothers me. It's like, it's so passé, right? We know that is a staged phone call. They've got Harry and Meghan. Maybe they genuinely called these people, but that isn't the phone call being recorded. You did not set the camera up in one place and the other, and then it wouldn't be spontaneous. The reaction wouldn't be from Jazine and the other woman.
Hi, Justine.
Hi, Jazine.
Hi. Oh my god.
I can't believe that I'm speaking with you both right now.
The Responsible Technology Youth Power Fund is an...
The Responsible Technology Youth Power Fund. That doesn't sound dodgy at all, does it? That sounds like something... That's just like Diana clearing landmines. The Responsible Technology Youth Power Fund, which is not a money laundering scam. Look at this guy. He looks trustworthy. The Responsible Technology Youth Power Fund is a what? A scam?
You both right now.
The Responsible Technology Youth Power Fund is an investment in young people that are shaping a more equitable and inclusive technology future.
Oh, the management jargon. Sorry, could you tell me please, what is the Responsible Technology Youth Power Fund? Because obviously the title is it's obvious it's going to be what it says on the tin. It's going to be a fund for powerful youths that are responsible with technology. But could you just clarify it for any idiots that are listening?
Investment in young people.
It's an investment in young people, so they're going to give money to young people or to the caregivers of young people, or somebody will get money, right? Right?
That are shaping a more equitable and inclusive technology future.
That are shaping a more equitable and inclusive technology future. Now, Jordan Peterson would be very alarmed at the word equitable. He hates equity. It's not the same as equality. It's equity. Equity's bad because it's a result of outcome, isn't it? I learned that when I was all into Milton Friedman and stuff. Milton Freeman. Freeman? Milton Freeman. Freeman. That's why I love liberty so much, isn't it? Equitable, inclusive technology future. So if you're not clear what the Youth Power Fund, the Responsible Technology Youth Power Fund is, it is an investment
in young people that are shaping a more equitable and inclusive technology future.
Of course.
The Youth Power Fund is supporting 26 organizations from around the United States.
26 organizations, coordinating 26 organizations from around the United States. Now, look at the names of these things, these funds, right? I want everybody who is watching this video to go off and investigate. Log Off Movement, Seek Common Ground, Connected Camps. What kind of camps? Are you going to put us into internment camps? Reboot. They're going to try and reprogram us. Civics Unplugged. They're going to unplug our civilization. Young People's Alliance Education Fund. The Centre for Educational Equity. Equity. That'll scare Jordan Peterson more than the belly of the whale. Right? Columbia University, Institute for Strategic Dialogue, the Seattle Student Union. Oh no. AI Consensus, March on Future Coalition, Design It For Us. Look at all of these bizarre strange things that you've... nobody knows why anyone sets up these funds. Not really. Fundamentally, it's confusing, isn't it? You know? Nobody really knows what's going on, do they?
States that are focused on the whole spectrum of responsible technology, from harm mitigation to ensuring equitable access to the benefits of technology, to using technology as a platform to address some of the biggest challenges that this next generation is facing.
Yeah, but what would you say you do, right? To quote Office Space. It almost sounds like none of this does anything. It just says words. It's to assure equitable access to the benefits of something. What are you talking about, you disgusting liar? You are an accountant. A successful accountant to the stars. That's what you are. You take their money, you put it into all of these funds, and they go off telling people. They do a staged phone call to some young people who have also been paid off, and you stage the phone call, and they say, "Oh, we're working for a charity. We're investing in equitable outcomes for..." And then you're the brains behind it all. You pay them $100,000 a pop to do talks. You think I don't know how this works? I'm an old dog at this. Is that a saying? Is that something people say? An old hand? I'm forgetting how to talk these days. I don't trust this fellow for 1 second. He looks like if you got in the way of one of his operations, his money operations, and all this is satire, of course. I don't really believe anything I'm saying here. He would have means to deal with you. Doesn't he look like that kind of person? He does, doesn't he?
Facing.
Congratulations, this is great, and we're so...
What?
Congratulations, this is great, and we're so happy to have you as part of this team.
Idiot! Congratulations, this is great. What's great? What? It's great that you've now got more equitable access to the benefits of technological safety. What the fuck? I hate stuff like this. If they were clearing landmines in Serbia or whatever, Bosnia, I would be all for it. They're all gone. I get it. You need to go somewhere else. It's a bit dangerous nowadays. Where do you go? Visit the cobalt mines in the Congo? No, I think we will just invest our money in equitable research for the benefits of safe technology. Who is buying this? Who is buying it? Who? Who believes this is a thing? It's not a thing. It's a lie. Don't kid yourselves. This isn't a thing. Nobody is going to actually benefit from this. I'm joking, of course. They can't sue me because this is all a joke. It's satire.
Really, thank you for all the work you're doing. It's huge. It's making an enormous impact.
It was like young people were empowered and emboldened to say things to me online that they would never say to me in person.
And so my vision was,
can we actually stop the cyberbullying at the source with the cyberbully?
Stop the cyberbullying at the source. Can we annihilate these people at the source? Can we get to them, like in the film with Tom Cruise, Minority Report, where they actually arrested people before they committed the crimes? Yeah, that sounds like a utopian society that we should all be heading towards, you know, should all be striving for. Can we cut the balls off at the source?
Can we actually stop the cyberbullying at the source with the cyberbully via Can we
Good
actually
eyes.
stop the cyberbullying at the source with the...
And so my vision was,
Can we actually stop the cyberbullying
Can we stop the cyberbullying?
at in person?
and so my vision was,
Can we actually stop the cyberbullying?
Can we stop the cyberbullying at the source? No, you can't. You communist.
At the source with the cyberbully via a behavioral approach that actually teaches young people to pause and rethink.
This is amazing. This is exactly why we do what we do. This is
This is amazing. Where's my toy phone? I'll have to use a remote. This is amazing. This is amazing. This is what I live for. You massive testicle.
This is exactly why the Youth Power Fund was created.
This is exactly why the Youth Power Fund was created. How would you know, Harry? I can't. Who is buying this? Who is... I've got to hear that again. So, what did she say? And he says, that's amazing. That's amazing. That's why the Youth Power Fund was created.
Rethink
This is amazing. This is exactly why we do.
actually teaches young people to pause and rethink.
This is amazing. This is exactly why we do what we do. This is exactly why the Youth Power Fund was created.
You know, so many different opportunities have presented itself to really uplift our message and to continue our work to inform legislation and to create a safe online world for young people, for the next generation.
Okay, so this Youth Power Fund is to create a safe space online. So you want to, I don't know, stop bullying, make everything more equitable. How? What are you talking about? As if Harry knows what's going on. Look at him looking at his shoes like an idiot, like an oaf, like an anus.
for kids,
Online world for young people, for the next generation.
Shut up.
for kids and some.
Look at him. He doesn't know what's going on, does he? He's battered. How many of us feel battered? And Meghan scheming away. Ah, yes, money. Yeah. Do you know what's happened to me over the last couple of years? I don't dislike Meghan as much as I dislike Harry now. He's overtaken for me. Meghan is just this sort of, you know, a bit of a schemer. She wants to get her way. But at the end of the day, all she really wants is like recognition and money. Okay? It doesn't really matter if it comes at a cost to anyone else. This guy, I hate him. I mean, I really, really don't like Harry. Because I don't know what it is. Maybe it's sexism. Maybe I feel that he should be stronger as a man, you know? Yeah, she's a scheming woman. Like they all are, eh? Am I right? No, I'm joking. What do you like, ladies? You're all like that. No, I'm joking. Us men, though, we detest testicle like this man. He's a testicle! I can't stand him. I just can't stand him. He really is such a weak man. And I know as well, I feel like I'm doing him a service in encouraging him to get back to what he was before. He used to be this really sort of butch Jack the Lad type. I miss that guy. You know, what happened? How did she make you so damn weak? How did she turn your spine to jelly? Was she that good? Did she do it that well? No woman should have that power over you. No man should have that power over a woman. No person should have that power over you to turn you into this jellyfish we see before us, this balding jellyfish. And jellyfish don't even have hair.
So many other people that need to be protected.
And to have their digital rights maintained.
Social media
Digital rights. Oh no, digital justice, social justice. I hate it all. I'm sounding like a right pleb, aren't I? Well, that's what I am. All right. You can like it or lump it, mate.
That need to be protected
and to have their digital rights maintained.
Social media was a major area that I think in many ways is a lot helpful to a lot of people, but at this...
How cringe is this, right? That this guy is being told to sit, like, I know this has nothing to do with Harry and Meghan. He's been told to sit there, not with a remote, albeit, with a real phone. He's been told to sit there and speak into the phone and pretend he's having a conversation with Harry and Meghan. And he's not. And he's a white man. That makes it all a lot worse.
Media was a major area that I think in many ways is a lot helpful to a lot of people, but at the same time creates huge harms for so many people, especially in terms of mental health.
I felt like I had to get...
What's going on, Harry? You're feeling battered? How many of us feel battered? What is going on with his face? I don't want to get too fixated on physical appearance. You know, we all have our ups and downs, right? Though, admittedly, he's been in decline for some time. What is going on? What is this? He looks like the Cookie Monster. I am astounded. It's astounding. Time is fleeting. Sounded more like Chris Eubank than Richard O'Brien. All right.
It's huge harms for so many people, especially in terms of mental health.
I felt like I had to get involved because I think young people are going to need to be heard.
In order for politicians to take action on this.
I see sometimes in Harry's eyes that he thinks he's portraying something with his facial features, but the face doesn't accompany the thought behind the eyes. I can see that. Can you see that? Yeah, we can all see that. He will look at this. Just look at what I'm trying to say.
Get involved because I think young people are going to need to be heard.
He's trying to convey there a look of trying to look interested. The director said, "Look, yeah, I know there's nobody actually speaking to you, but imagine somebody speaking to you and look interested, right?" So he's looking down like this as though he's listening. So he thinks his face is doing this. He thinks his face is doing. He thinks he's expressing deep thought, like he's processing a difficult concept. Oh, look at him.
In terms of mental health.
I felt like I had to get involved because I think young people are going to need to be heard.
But he's so battered, and I don't know what on, but he's battered. We know that much. He said so himself. His face is just sort of going.
In order for politicians to take action.
You know? You know what I'm on about, don't you, all of you? Don't you?
Action on this issue.
I got involved in legislative advocacy initiative in my...
I got involved in legislative advocacy. Fuck me. I swear to God, I can't with people. Just people in general. There's too many of these in the world.
Action on this issue.
I got involved in legislative advocacy initiative in my...
Oh my God! I got involved with a legislative advocacy initiative. An initiative to advocate for things to be done in legislature. Legislature. Fuck off. Alright? That isn't a thing. Stop pretending you're doing something. You work for Encode Justice and you take billions from mafiosos, wise guys, and celebrities that are pretending to donate money to charities before you pay them in a big wad of cash to appear at an inspirational talk, you know? that nobody listens to. They're only there for the demonic after party. That's what happens at those events, you know, Davos and all the like. Davos is like the big obvious one, but there's all these charity events. You know what they're doing after. They're doing what Lizzo's doing. Or worse.
Home state of California here in the US, and I actually came across an investigation that found that there were algorithms being used in our legal system here in the US that are actually biased against Black defendants.
Thank you for doing everything
against
system here in the US that are actually biased against Black defendants.
Thank.
What? I don't know what word she just used. Subtitles. I need subtitles. Plot defendants.
Used in our legal system here in the US that are actually biased against Black defendants.
I think plot defendants, I think it's Black defendants, right? The legal system. There are systems, algorithms used that are biased against Black defendants, I'm guessing. Not plot defendants. Plot defendants. What's a plot defendant? Black defendant, right?
Being used in our legal system here in the US that are actually biased against Black defendants.
Thank you for doing everything that you do. Our kids especially are incredibly grateful.
Our kids are grateful. Your kids are alive. So we're told, grateful about the advocacy, the legislative advocacy initiatives. I do not believe that is. I'll buy that they exist. I will not buy that they are grateful for the legislative advocacy initiatives about equitable access to safe online spaces. Right? No, that is a stretch too far. All right. All right.
Thank you for doing everything that you do. Our kids especially are incredibly grateful.
He's like Marlon Brando reading the script, isn't he? You know that, don't you? That Marlon Brando's look. I mean, there's loads of YouTube videos talking about this. He's said it himself. That the way he'd sort of look away from the screen. So almost inappropriately, but everyone thought, oh, what a master. He's reading his lines. Because he couldn't remember any of them. Watch the interview on, I think it was on Letterman with Christopher Reeve talking about Marlon Brando when he worked on Superman with him and how disappointing the whole experience was. I still love Marlon Brando though. Anyway, back on topic.
They don't know it yet.
They don't know it yet.
But they will.
So good to talk to you.
Bye.
Bye.
Have a good
Take
one.
Care, bye.
Bye.
Oh, you got cooked so hard there, Harry, by your wife. She's talking over him all the time. It's so embarrassing. Whenever my wife does that, I give her a sharp pinch in the side. Just, you know, where the rib is. I just foot twist. I'm, of course, joking before anyone denounces me. No, I just give her a firm warning look, a glance. That's all I need. The physical stuff that ended years ago, in every sense. No.
Oh.
So good to talk to you.
Bye.
Bye. They don't know it yet.
But they will.
So good to talk to you.
Look at that! Look at that as well. That is that is amazing.
They don't know it yet.
They don't know it yet.
But they
do. Our kids especially are incredibly grateful.
Our kids especially are incredibly grateful. You big dumbass.
They don't know it yet.
They don't know it yet.
But they will.
They don't know it yet. She like, there is a talent to that, to being able to assert yourself, you know. She'll have learnt that in acting school that her daddy paid for in Hollywood throughout her childhood. They don't know it yet, but they will. And then Harry's just sort of mumbling at the same time. No, they don't know. No, yeah, you're right. They don't. It's a thing. Shut up! Grow a pair.
Kids especially are incredibly grateful.
They don't know it yet.
They don't know it yet.
But they...
Idiot!
Our kids especially are incredibly grateful.
They don't know it yet.
They don't know it yet.
But they will.
So good to talk to you.
Bye.
Bye. Thanks, Erin.
Have a good
Take
one.
care, bye.
Bye.
She gets the last word. Bye. Goodbye. Take care. All very nicely pronounced with her big smiley face. And Harry there.
Good to talk to you.
Bye.
Bye. Thanks, Erin.
Have a good one.
Yeah, bye.
Bye.
Oh. Yeah. Well, there you go. That was an interesting video. Last topic of today's episode. And we've got to talk about this. It's Lizzo. It's Lizzo. It's Pepper o'clock. It's 6:30. Right? Well, no, it isn't. It's jail o'clock. If I have my way. Lizzo, what's happened? So, scientists have identified a new candidate for the heaviest animal on planet Earth. There is oh no, that's not Lizzo. Oh no, it's an ancient whale they dug up in Peru. My mistake. Funny joke, eh? You enjoyed that, didn't you? You see, if there's editing there, it would be great. But there's also that, like, layer of awkwardness of how I'm, awkwardity, as some say. Lizzo. What's Lizzo been doing? What hasn't she been doing? Uh-oh. Vulture. I like the name of this. New York Vulture. The Culture Vulture. All right. So, Lizzo accused of SA by former employees. Oh my God. The feminist. The woman who's so bothered about all of society's injustices towards fats and women and other collectives that we have to be careful about mentioning. 3 of Lizzo's former dancers have filed a lawsuit against her production company, Big Girl, Thick Girl, Big Tourin', Big Girl, Big Tourin', Inc., BGBT, and dance captain Shirlene Quigley. The dancers, Ariana Davis, Crystal Williams, and Noel Rodriguez, allege religious and racial harassment, disability discrimination, assault, and false imprisonment. Now, the false imprisonment one is a bit of a stretch. She couldn't get through the door. No, I'm joking. She blocks the exit. That's true. But, all right. Following the announcement of the lawsuit, some of Lizzo's former collaborators have shared support for the accusers, as well as their own experiences. Now, this is interesting because it gets really sick. I don't know if this article goes into too many details, and I'm going to have to be careful about some of the words I use while reading this out. The dancers claim that while on tour with Lizzo, Lizzo invited them to a nude performance in a club in Amsterdam and went out of fear of losing their job. So they went out of fear of losing their job. So they felt forced to go to this horrible, debauched event. Pour me another drink. Right? All right. While there, the lawsuit claims that Lizzo began leading a chant to get Davis to touch one of the performers' chests. Miss Davis said 3 times, loud enough for all to hear, "I'm good!" Don't do the voice, Danny. That will get you cancelled. expressing her desire not to touch the performer, the lawsuit states. Davis eventually acquiesced. I acquiesced. I acquiesced. Davis eventually acquiesced, fearing it may harm her future on the team. Later that night, they alleged Lizzo badgered a member of her security team to get on stage, where she pulled down his pants and hit him with whips. Very nice. The next week, the plaintiffs say Lizzo took her dance team out with her, telling them they were going to a cabaret bar. That kind of cabaret bar, the one with no clothes, in Paris. This was a European tour of debauchery. The lawsuit also alleges mistreatment from BGBT, that's the management team, right, toward the dancers. The BGBT's management team consisted of entirely white Europeans who often accused the non-white members, the black members of the dance team, of being lazy, unprofessional, and having bad attitudes, the lawsuits state. So she employed captains, really, field marshals, much like in 12 Years a Slave, all right? Or what was the shit version of 12 Years a Slave with Will Smith? They break my bones. What happened to that film? Did anybody go and watch it? What was it called? It was like what Simple Jack from Tropic Thunder was to Forrest Gump. That was that to 12 Years a Slave. You see? And that's why I don't need to edit, do I? You all get what I'm on about, don't you? Simple Jack, yeah, that's right. Additionally, Davis describes being fat-shamed by Lizzo and choreographer Tanisha Scott. Now, call the kettle black, the pot calling the kettle black, the fat calling the fat, right? Tanisha, the choreographer Tanisha and Lizzo, fat-shamed Davis. Lizzo and Miss Scott pressed Miss Davis for an explanation why she seemed less bubbly and vivacious than she did prior to the tour starting. The lawsuit says, in professional dance, a dancer's weight gain is often seen as that the dancer is getting lazy or worse off as a performer. Lizzo and Miss Scott's questions about Miss Davis' commitment to the tour were thinly veiled. The fatly veiled. Were thinly veiled. The thinly veiled concerns about Miss Davis' weight gain. Now that sounds like a bit of a nothing burger. Or a big double whopper. In this case. I don't need to do any editing, do I? This is great. Miss Davis' weight gain, which Lizzo had previously called attention to after noticing it at the South by Southwest Music Festival. Imagine being called fat by Lizzo. That has got to be your lowest point as a human, I would say. And I just want to draw your attention, remind you what a terrible person Lizzo is. I made this video about Lizzo ages ago. Like last year. A year ago, more than a year ago. And I warned you all. I warned you. But you wouldn't listen. Look at what a terrible person she is and always has been. Let's find out what she actually said. For Lizzo, the truth hurts about her crossover success. The thing is, when a black artist reaches a certain level of popularity, it's going to be a predominantly white crowd. Ugh. Imagine reaching a level of success where it's a predominantly white crowd. Oh, God. It'd make you not even want to have a crowd. Now, Lizzo consistently has some of the stupidest takes I have ever heard from a fellow human being, and she's friends with Harry Styles, so that makes a lot of sense to me. But if she were to just sit down for a few seconds and reflect on some of the garbage that comes out of her mouth. Obviously, living in the USA, if you get mainstream level success, about 85% of the population is white. So, yeah, the crowds are going to be mainly white if you're hugely successful. If you're only successful within your community where you grew up or whatever, then, you know, maybe... That's boring. Why did I let that play for so long? I got distracted. I was thinking about lots of other things. Anyway, yeah, she's a vile human being. Always has been. It's just now she's going to get called out because she's attacked the wrong collective. All right, I think that's about all I've got time for today. I will be making some more... Whoa! Look at that. I will be making some more detailed videos, edited videos and the like, which you'll all enjoy. But I just had to get all of that off my chest this morning. All right? Okay. Like, share, subscribe, all the rest of it. I'll see you in the next one.